conversation. 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors to motivators, chefs, and even rappers to up-and-comers with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K Ward coming at ya. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs. Tune in, chime in, sit back, relax. Have fun, some smiles, a few laughs.
Sit back, relax, have a few laughs. You know, it's all about the artist talk. Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm your host, Jazzie K Ward, and welcome to the show. Thank you for welcoming me into your homes wherever you are across the world. If you're watching via my YouTube channel, which you should be as well, all you have to do is go to K Ward Radio, right? That's right on YouTube. Don't forget over there. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get all these jazzy notifications. Then pick up your other device, right? Same device or whatever, and go to K Ward Radio, my website.com. Go back and check out some interviews as well. You know, the old shows, the ones you've missed, go back, you know, it's virtual, load them up to your TV and catch up these amazing conversations that we have with these amazing guests. So what you can do right now is just go ahead and just share the video, pour you a glass of wine or whatever you drink, because you're in for a special treat. My special guest tonight is saxophonist, producer, author, right? JACKIEM Joyner is here tonight on the show. He's a Billboard recording artist, y'all. And let me show you a snippet and you'll understand why. Hey, was y'all up dancers? I feel like a little salsa, a little groove, you know. Hey, no, I was gonna try to dance with y'all, right? So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you please post them for our guest tonight, and I promise you we'll do our best to get those on for you. So you know, let's welcome my guest to the show, but let's give him a lot of love. Again, ladies and gentlemen, saxophonist, producer, and author, JACKIEM Joyner to the show, y'all.
Hey, what's going on, Jazzie K?
What's up, my brother? Happy Thursday to you.
Yes, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. We got the owner B on the line. Hey, Nicole. We got, you know, recording artist the owner B. We got recording artist Costella. It's all about the mojito.
Yes.
We got my brother, recording artist Zamil. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Good evening, my brother Scott in California. Welcome. And again, if anybody has any questions for our our guest tonight, make sure you just list the comments there. I almost said today was Friday because I don't know about y'all, but since this pandemic, everything has been a little bit off, and I've had a long week, and I've had at least 8 Zoom meetings this week.
Wow.
It's just like,
That
and
is
even more tomorrow. But hey, brother, again, welcome to the show, Artist Talk. We are so excited for you to spend a little time with us.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yes. This is it's interesting. I mean, this pandemic has taught me many things, like how to use Zoom.
Right.
I never thought it'd be that important. It's interesting, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be on the show. I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing for all the artists, and so glad to be here.
Thank you so much. And I have to say a special hello to my sister-in-law, Sharon McLean. She's in Norfolk, Virginia, which, Jaheim is also from Norfolk, if you didn't know that.
Yes, I'm born in Norfolk.
No.
Yes.
We got Bridget Williams also on the line from Necessities 101. Welcome so much, to the show. When you think about this pandemic, everything pretty much changed for us last year. And I don't know about you, I tell people a lot of times during our conversation, it's been a blessing, it's been a curse. But one thing I think it has taught us, and I'm just speaking for me, and I'll ask you the same thing. It taught me, well, I think I have patience, but I think even a lot more patience. A lot of times I procrastinate. So things that I had like on my bookshelf that I kept saying I didn't have enough time to do. Well, I've been having a lot of time. And I don't know if you can kind of share the same sentiments, so just how have you and your family, for one, how have you guys been doing, and how have you all been just navigating through all of this?
It's interesting because I had a full tour schedule laid out for 2020. I didn't think I was going to be home, all the time. So it was obviously life-changing. My daughter was starting first grade, had to do Zoom. But the interesting thing is I was able to finish actually my second novel, which I didn't think I was going to get done. And all of a sudden all this time was just kind of thrust on all of us, and now it's like, what are we going to do? I'm not on the road, I'm not touring. So, it was challenging, honestly, because I'm used to, flying and touring and being able to connect with the audience. So it put me in a different headspace, but I was able to be very creative, and continue to write music and do what I love, just here in my studio and at my house. So, it's a whole new thing now, so really just being adjusted to, all the changes, and because I'm really excited to get back on the road and get back on tour, and because it's been like a year since I've done a show. So, that's unheard of.
Yeah, I think we had a question. Well, my nephew is also in Norfolk. He said, "What's the name of the novel, your book?"
So my first novel is Zaria, and that came out in 2015. My most recent novel that came out last year is entitled Minor Assassin. Both of those books you can read about on my website, JACKIEMJOYNER.store, and you can check out the reviews and stuff like that.
Okay, so just so I was, when I was reading the books, can you just tell us, in your short version, rather, kind of what the books, kind of what the books are about?
So my first novel, Zaria, is a teenage girl basically who saves the world. It's like a Divergent series meets Avatar. It's on another planet. She's kind of like an elf where she has long ears and a long tail. She's on a planet that has lots of technology, flying drones. And basically she's this teenage girl who finds out that the people in charge are going to do something horrible to the people on the planet. So, and her father went missing. So she finds her father's notes and goes deep into his math and finds out that she can stop this, even though she's still in high school. And she's going up against military people and flying drones and flying bikes and stuff like that. So so that's Zaria. And that book did actually win the Literary Titan Award, the Silver Literary Titan Award, Book Award. So I'm very happy about that. So that book has been doing well. My second novel is a little different, Minor Assassin, where there's a young boy who, through tragedy, and I don't want to give, how do I do this without giving away the story? This is going to be interesting because I don't want to do that. But
don't give it away. But we can always tell people, that's the thing about it. People go to the website, JackieMJoyner.store, and just buy the book, right?
Buy the book. Minor Assassin, he's a young boy through tragedy. He winds up becoming someone who decides to take the law into his own hands when he becomes of age. He travels to Japan to learn how to be this ruthless fighter. And there's blood. But, he wants to rescue his sister. So he comes back from Japan to Las Vegas to find his sister. And he's a very dangerous person at that point. Very angry, very dangerous, and well-trained. So that's Minor Assassin.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a movie.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. Wow. So so the next one we'll be adding that to your resume.
Yes. Please do.
So we have a question from B on a B. She said, "Was Journey of Passion written during the pandemic?"
Yes, it was actually. Journey of Passion EP, that entire EP that came out in November, was produced and written during the pandemic. So I didn't plan on putting out an EP or really any new music in 2020. I was going to focus mainly on touring. But yes, Journey of Passion EP came out and was written while in quarantine.
Also, Costello has a question for you, Jackie. Are you related to Jackie Journey Curser?
Everyone asks me that. I don't think so. I mean, I do have a lot of joiners in my family, but I'd have to find a way to figure that out or check to see, because it would be interesting if I was related to her. But so as far as I know, no, I'm not.
Okay. And also, I saw another comment about the book. And Jackie, with the books, if they buy your CDs and your books from you, do they just hit you up in your email address so you can sign them? How would that work?
No, well, actually, on my store, JackIemJoyner.store, you can buy it right from there. And when you buy it from there, I sign it and send it out to you. So it's real easy. I make it easy for you to give me your money.
Well, that's the best way, because you ever been in some company that's like, I'm trying to give you money, why are you making this so challenging? Sometimes
it's going to be simple. You go to my store to be simple. Most of my recent CDs, like Touch, that came out before Journey of Passion, that came out in 2019, and also Journey of Passion, the new EP, is on the store, including my books, and you can read about them too. So yeah, head on to the store, y'all.
Head on to the store. And Jay, I'm just going to go back just a little bit with you growing up, in Norfolk. So I always ask people, did you grow up in the church? Were you surrounded by a musical family? How was your experience, growing up as a young man?
Music hit me at the young age of 11, and yes, it was at church. And I was dragging my feet because I did not want to go to church. My mom was forcing us to go to church. And I was like, come on, we got school throughout the week, and I don't want to spend a Sunday at church. Who does that, right? But I was 11 years old, and I'm really thankful that she brought me to church, because I fell in love with the music department, the choir, the youth choir. I was just this young boy seeing all this music in this piano player and a bass player and drums. And I was like, wow, this is just amazing. It was just really exciting. And, I was looking forward to going to church after that. And I wanted to join the youth choir, but I was too young. Yeah, I was 11,
Well,
so,
you were
but man, I tell you, at the end of service, I go and get on those drums and I just bang away. So I think that's where the spark hit me. A few years later, we moved up to Syracuse, New York, and that's where I actually started playing the saxophone. So
okay.
I thought I was going to play the drums actually, because when I started high school, I wanted to play the drums. But the music teacher already had enough drummers. So he told me to try something else. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try something else. And, it took me to this closet with all these instruments. And there's like this big tuba instrument. I didn't know it was a tuba. I didn't even know it was an instrument. I thought it was like a gold car or something. It was huge. I couldn't imagine anyone playing that. And then I saw a flute, and, I thought flute was only for girls or something like that. I don't know. And then I saw the shiny instrument, the saxophone, which I didn't know it was a saxophone. I just saw this instrument with all of these buttons on it. And I was like, wow, is that made of gold? And and it just looked really interesting. And I said, hey, just show me how to play that.
That's right. Well, we want to hear a little bit more from, of course, our special guest tonight, saxophonist, producer, author JACKIEM Joyner is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to take a short break and we're going to have more conversation right here on Artist Talk.
Jazzie K. Ward. Artist Talk.
Hello everyone, my name is Bridget Williams. I'm the owner of Necessities 101. Please follow the links below that will take you to my website and my business pages. I am trying to collaborate with stylists, bloggers, influencers, musicians, and everyone in between. I specialize in statement jewelry, so if you're planning a wedding or a photo shoot, I am your go-to person. Please check my page out. In doing so, you will be supporting a small business, and I would like to thank you in advance for that. Have a great day.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show, Artist Talk. I'm your host, Jazzie K. Ward. So my special guest tonight is Billboard recording artist, saxophonist, producer, author, JACKIEM Joyner is in the house.
What's up?
Hey,
what's up?
what's going on? So, we were talking about, your experience growing up in church and, like you didn't want to go to church and all that kind of jazz. I can relate to that. Not wanting to go to church all the time. I can remember when we would come down south, I would stay with my grandparents, and my grandparents were here in Alabama. And, I lived in Ohio, and we would come down, and my grandmother was like, we'll get to church on Sunday, maybe about 7:30. And I don't know if this was your experience, but we were there till like 3 or 4 o'clock. And I'm like, Jesus, Grandma, it's not that much church in the world. I don't know if that was your experience.
You know what? After going to church a few Sundays, we did start going to Sunday school, and that added the additional hours. And that I definitely didn't want to do that. I just wanted to hurry up and get to the service, and I'm like, man, I got to do Sunday school too, and man, I got to wait, and it's just like, okay, whatever.
But do you think, if you look back at it, things, when we're younger, things are different. And again, hello, Rose Lady, Jazz Corners. Thank you so much for joining in the show. Do you think church was a foundation for you?
I believe so. Absolutely. I got saved at a very young age, but I didn't really understand it. But being in church, it's interesting because music and church came kind of at the same time. It wasn't like I was going to church first and getting into church and figuring out what that was all about. It was church and music kind of together. Right. And I was inspired, in two ways with that. So absolutely, I agree.
That's great. Right. Well, what I want to do now, JACKIEM, is go into one of your performances that I want to feature right here on the show. And then we're going to come back and talk about it. So ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy this performance from saxophonist JACKIEM Joyner right here on Artist. Hey, I was just over here grooving to the smooth. So Junkie, like who were some of your like people, artists that you looked up to?
You know, one of the first artists was John P. Key. This was in church, and I was a big fan of John P. Key, and then Yolanda Adams. Once I picked up the saxophone, then came along people like Grover Washington Jr., Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Ronnie Laws, and then I remember listening to the radio and hearing My come on the radio, and it was played by saxophonist Gerald Albright. Didn't know who he was at the time. And then, of course, Kirk Whalum, George Duke, Bobby Lyle. It's a long list, Cannonball Adderley, so I've kind of been influenced by a lot of music. I love piano music, but of course I love saxophone. I love the old school music and jazz, like from Charlie Parker, because I used to study Charlie Parker before I started, going into contemporary jazz. And then of course I love gospel jazz. I love what Kirk Whalum does with gospel music. So, my influences are wide. I'm still being influenced even today.
Hey, Michelle Sellers, thanks for stopping by. So, so outside of your music, when you think about this career and even during the pandemic, Junkie, like people see lights, camera, action, oh, wow, he's a star, so can you share any challenges you faced, in this business? Because, even during the pandemic, some artists I've talked to is like, hey, I had to have a plan A, B, and C.
I tell you, again, not touring is new, for me. I mean, the last time I wasn't on tour was 2005, so it was like an entire new world for me, so that was really challenging, and not the uncertainty, honestly, of when things were going to come back, when the music and touring was going to come back, but even writing songs, I love writing songs. Most of all the albums that I've put out, I've written, but there's a lot of time into writing music, and some songs you got to fight with to get them to work, and it can be really challenging when you can't find that it factor in the song, and then all of a sudden some weeks later it just hits you and you're able to do that. You know, there's a song that I did that features Peter White called Last Dance.
Right.
And I remember producing that song and stopping, you know, halfway through because I kind of got stuck. Um, couldn't figure out where to go with it. But, you know, I came back inspired, you know, after listening to music and just, you know, taking some time away and then finished the song. But the song still wasn't done because, you know, it was missing Peter White. That's why it wasn't done, you know. So, you know, so there's struggles in writing music and things like that. And sometimes, you know, remaining inspired, you know, as an artist, it's not the easiest thing, you know, when your life just ups and changes over like a pandemic, you know, something like this. So, but you know, I'm a very positive person. You know, I believe that, you know, things are gonna get back, and I think it's gonna be even bigger than before. So I'm really looking forward to being a part of all of that new music that's going to be coming out. So you guys can hear it.
Right. That's right. You know, and you can tell even about when you even listening to your music. You know, when if I'm in the house or in the car, you know, it's like I don't have to even look at the radio. It's like, well, who is that artist? And you know what? That's Jaheim Joyner. And if you don't know him, shame on you. If you don't know this brother, you know, shame on you. If you don't know him, because you truly have that it factor and your passion for music. And tell our viewers that are watching tonight about your master class and your foundation with the Joyner Media Company.
Yeah, so my album Touch that came out in 2019 is the first record that I did under my own label, kind of under my own wings. And, you know, I kind of took a risk because I was signed with an amazing label, Mac Avenue, but I just decided to kind of head in a different direction. So I started Joyner Media Company to put out my album, but also to put out and promote my books because I love writing. You know, I have a passion for literature and reading. So I didn't want to make my company just about music. You know, I wanted to also encompass other things as well, you know, music, books, literature, blogs, you know, all things that I'm passionate about and other people can be passionate about. I also have a master class that's full right now, so I'm not taking any new students, but that is something that I also created during the pandemic, was artist craft mastery course. And basically that course is used to help artists, you know, with songwriting, practicing, promoting themselves and developing a brand. I kind of felt like I had something to offer other musicians. People have been sending me emails and messages and asking me, you know, if I would ever create a course. And I said, I don't have time to create a course. I don't feel like it, you know, but I kind of caved under the pressure and decided to put a system together that other saxophone players, trumpets players, musicians can follow and put their own music out there and kind of give them a blueprint, you know, so far as what I know. So that's what the mastery class is about. And it will be opening back up again in June for more students to join up into it. And we're having fun in the class, and a lot of people, you know, I'm talking with students and they're really excited about their music. And I love helping other artists. And, you know, this gave me an opportunity to do that.
Oh well, I think that's amazing. But so I know the class is full, and eventually it's going to open up later on in the year. But in the meantime, how can, you know, people watching, how can they support your foundation?
Well, I mean, you know, right now, the best way to support me and my music, honestly, is to, you know, make sure you're streaming my music, downloading my music. If you're into literature and you love science fiction, hey, you might as well read my book, right? And if you like crime and mystery and suspense and a little bit of martial arts, you can get my latest book, you know, Minor Assassin. You know, and again, of course, streaming, you know, Pandora. Make sure you guys have my playlist on Spotify and, you know, download all my music. That's really the best way, you know, kind of to support, because when my music gets to you guys, and I know that you guys are listening to my music and supporting my music, you know, it gives me that motivation to keep writing more music. And I really, you know, that's why I'm so appreciative of my fans that have been, you know, buying my music for the past 15 years. So just keep doing that.
Yeah, you heard them. Y'all keep buying the music, keep downloading, streaming music on all platforms. But
Yes.
we have a question. First off, you just killed Euphoria. The CD Touch, Europa, is one of my favorites by you. What inspired that project? Last Dance with Peter White, who's awesome, and who is an artist that you would like to work with that you have not yet, that you haven't?
Great questions. So Touch is all about romance and, dare I say, lust. This album, when I was thinking about this record, I wanted to play an album that I could perform emotionally and softly. And honestly, if you were in the studio with me while I was recording Touch, you would see that I'm playing the sax very gently, very touch. I'm just touching the horn, but it has these reflections of this R&B, sexy. It's a grown folks record, grown and sexy with a deep R&B feel to it. It's got titles, lustful titles like Secrets and Fairy Tales, and of course Touch. It was really exciting to get Peter White and Najee, who I'd been listening to in high school. I was very excited to have Najee perform on Fairy Tales. In fact, Fairy Tales is one of my favorite songs on the record. That song is hypnotic. If you haven't heard Fairy Tales featuring Najee, you definitely want to listen to that. So that's Touch. Honestly, it's one of my favorite projects right now, because I just love the mood of the album. And I love what I've done with it, and also it being the first record on my own label. So it's a big story, about that record. I think the other question she asked was, who else would I like to work with? There's a lot. There's a lot of people that I've worked with, like George Duke and Marcus Miller and Ronnie Laws and Gene Carn and Angel Bofield. I've toured with Marcus Johnson and Bobby Lau, Keiko Matsui. But there are people that I haven't performed and toured with. Like, I haven't toured and performed with Beyonce yet, right?
Is that in the works?
Legend,
is that in the works?
I love the way that John Legend writes. I love his writing. I wouldn't mind doing a show with him. There's a long list of artists that I hope to perform with in the future. I could just go on and on. Stevie Wonder.
There's so many. So, outside of music, real quick, what are some of your hobbies? If you were not doing music, what would you be doing?
I obviously I love the outdoors. I love adventures, so I love hiking. I love the beach. I think I would still be traveling even if I wasn't on tour, because I just love going to new places, So, I'm the guy that if I fly into, say, Japan, I'm going to go and get lost, basically. That's how my mind works. It's like, let's go here, let's go there, let's go there, let's go, wherever. So I'm an adventurous at heart. I played ball, in school. So, I love to play basketball, but, unfortunately my hands are a bit more important to me right now with the saxophone. So I can't really kind of go all in with it. I love martial arts. I love boxing, things like that too. So I love to do physical things.
Physical things. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And again, I wanted to say hello to Dion and Kimberly and Rena.
Dion.
Hey guys. Yeah.
Dion's got a new single out. That's a great song. Yeah. So you got to check him out. Matt Lee, he's Matt Lee's West Coast sax. I'm actually playing on 2 of his mouthpieces right now on my tenor, the Soul Machine on my tenor, and also the Soul Machine on my alto. And right now they're pretty much kicking butt.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I need to have all y'all back on the show all together. So you guys watching, Kimberly, y'all guys come on the show and we can talk about this great music. Something I wanted to, so, who do you listen to? Most people think because you're a jazz artist, and even because I do jazz, you're laid back. So what is your turn up? Like, do you listen to trap music? Like, who's like some of your favorites?
If you had my iPhone, you'd be very surprised. I mean, I'm a big fan of Nas.
Right.
So I like old school hip hop, back in the Biggie Smalls kind of days. I also love to listen to movie scores and movie soundtracks. So I'm a big fan of composers like Steve Jablonsky, John Powell. So these are people that are making soundtracks for movies, and just, I don't know, just something about that type of music connects with me. It's really interesting because you might have thought that I would be listening to, a lot of jazz and stuff like that. Of course I do listen to a lot of jazz, but I mean, I'm also listening to a lot of other stuff that's in a different world. It's just my mind picks up little pieces from all over the place, and, before I write a song. So it's an interesting iPod. If you were to scroll through, you'd be like, what, who, why is that in there?
And I know, so, now, with you being a Billboard recording artist, and you just say, well, Jazzie, I'm gonna skip that question. So I know Jaheim is this big superstar. People were asking me here, I was getting messages like, does he have a lot of people in his DMs? I said, I will ask him.
Yeah. Yes. I have a lot. I have a lot of that. I mean, I have tons of unread messages.
Right. I got you. So, the new album, Journey of Passion, real quick, can you tell us why did you choose that title?
It's interesting because COVID-19 kind of sent me on a new journey. I didn't think I would write any of those songs. The single that went to radio, Road to Soul, which is,
Right.
I have to give it up for Watercolors. They are still pumping that song. If you guys
I'm pumping that song, Steve.
and
I'm still pumping.
Thank you. It's an amazing track. And, I really put my production work to the test on that song, Road to Soul, because I'm playing everything. And you'll hear like the drums, the keyboards, the bass, the guitar, the synth. And I was able to produce it in a way to where people can really feel the live instruments, even though it's all me. And the crazy thing about that is that song was shelved last year. It actually didn't make it on the Touch album because it just didn't have the feel for Touch. So I didn't know or believe that I was going to get back to Road to Soul. So I pulled that song up in my studio and I just hit play, and all of a sudden all these lights just started coming on. And then I finished that song, Road to Soul. And then that was the first single from Journey of Passion. And I quickly went and produced the previous or the other preceding 4 tracks on Journey of Passion, and all of that stuff performed, produced, in quarantine. And some amazing songs. It's all original. I really fell in love with you guys got to listen to the title cut, Journey of Passion 2. It's an amazing track. Also J Time, that's funky. That's me and my kind of funky stuff. The Space Between Us is an amazing track, that's got an R&B feel and some horns to it. So and again, it's a short CD because it's an EP. It's only 5 songs, but again, it's going to take you on a journey. It's going to take you on a journey of passion and on the road to soul.
On the road to soul. I mean, your music takes us anywhere on a musical journey. So I tell people, hey, get you a glass of wine or Kool-Aid, whatever you drink. Have your little company, light you some candles, and put on, JACKIEM JOYNER CD, and you might get in a little trouble. I'm just saying.
You might, especially if you put on Touch.
If you put on,
do not listen to Touch and drink anything.
Right. Most definitely.
No, really, you need to do that though.
You need to do that.
Yes.
Again, my brother, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. You always have my support, and everyone watching the show tonight, make sure you go out, get all his CDs. His new album is Journey of Passion. Make sure you go pick that up, stream it, download it, Spotify, Apple, wherever music is sold.
Yes.
My brother.
This has been great. Oh, and by the way, I give you guys a few notes.
Okay. My brother, Patrick Lamb. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you, this brother truly has that it factor, and that's why he's a Billboard recording artist. Ladies and gentlemen, go pick up his latest CD anytime you want to. Come back on the show. Any new
Thank you.
projects you coming back? The foundation, we would love to have you back.
Thank you. And by the way, I'm working on a new single right now for the summer, so I'm really excited about that. Can't wait for you guys to hear my work on that.
Okay. Again, well, we're excited about that. Thank you, Bridget. Come back on the show, you know, Jakeem, and talk about it. We would love to have you back on the show. And everybody, make sure you go to the website, get the book, get the CD, get all of that. Okay.
Get all of it.
Get all of it. And we'll see you next time right here on Artist Talk. Okay.
Yes. Thanks, Jazzie K. This has been a pleasure, man.
Hey, I appreciate it, my brother. And keep keeping on. And you always have my support. And I look forward to the new music.
Take it easy.
Okay. Peace, brother. Wow, everybody. Thank you so much. I had an awesome conversation. You know, I have to really cut myself down because I get to talking and talking. Hey, Rena Chanel is on the line. Thank you so much to Rena. My brother Patrick Lamb stopped by, Matt, Dion Yates, B on a B, Castella, everybody that was on the show. Hey, Gia. Yeah, don't we just love his music? Again, thank you all so much for your support. Make sure you go over to K-Ward Radio so you can get all the notifications. Don't forget to click the bell as well as subscribe to my website, kwardradio.com. My other information for any artists, you have new music, please send to me. My information is listed here. You want to support the show, Cash App, PayPal, all that jazz is right there. So don't forget to join me on tomorrow with recording artist, the soul diva herself, Miss Carol Riddick, is going to stop by and hang out with Jazzie for a little bit. You guys be safe out there. It's some bad weather here in Alabama, so I hope everyone is safe. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Make sure you take care of yourself and be kind to others. Good night.
A live one-on-one conversation, 30 minutes of pure entertainment with musicians, writers, and actors, to motivators, chefs, and even rappers, to up-and-comings with the it factor. It's the Jazzie K Ward coming at ya.